Why are the brothers hiding the 5th chapter, Garten of Banban? What? Why the link to the 6th part? Why isn't the next chapter number 5? Maybe we drove one extra floor because the elevator we left on was slightly broken. After all, we have not even established the last detail, since it was necessary to run from the jester. And besides, plus everything, a ray of death began to break out from the queen's stomach, which the entire 4th floor was afraid of. Yes, no one expected this. But everything is much more complicated, and the brothers did not write about the 5th part anywhere, but you can find the 5th part right now on Steam, and it looks very creepy. She looks. What a creepy first part. What is this? Maybe a game for a child if the screen is exactly the same from the first part. Looks like screenshots from the first chapter. I compared the screenshots and descriptions from the 1st and 5th chapters of the Banban Garden, and what surprised me was that the screenshots from the 5th head are stupid. Screenshots from the 1st. The same remote control from the drone, the same places, and just superimposed noise. The brothers didn't bother much and piled old screenshots. But what if it was done on purpose and the 5th chapter was hidden for a reason? One screenshot is different. Firstly, there is no remote control, and secondly, a new one looks out from the dining room. Previously unfamiliar face with rather strange features. He has a body. You can see that the head is much larger than the size of the arms and legs, and seems to be missing fingers. Did he leave the cassette in the 1st chapter with the fall of the ride with the children already recorded in it? If so, then we are not going through the chapter for the child. And for the second parent, or maybe someone finally turned to the police. Though unlikely. However, the lack of a remote control and a screenshot with the monster may mean that we are a child, and yet then we will have to go through all his horrors and get to know the monsters from a different angle. After all, some monsters have a completely different attitude towards children than towards adults. But unfortunately this may not be, because everything refutes corny. The height of the picture, you must agree, is still very high for a child attending a kindergarten. Analyzing screenshots 5. Chapters 1 still think that the action of the 5th chapter takes place after the fall of the ball pit attraction. But that's bad luck. Why did they take old pictures of one screenshot? Here it is taken from the 1st chapter as. I would like a picture of this room before the bad events of the kindergarten in the 1st chapter in the game itself. The inscriptions already appeared after the tragic incident. Why this picture? It's just stupidly not thought out, copied by. A picture with the same noise effect superimposed on top, or will the events in this chapter take place before or during the incident? I think it could be a mistake because they copied not only him. By the way, this could be the reason why the chapter is hidden and not referred to directly from 4. This is some kind of parallel story, taking place in the same universe but at the same time containing more terrible details. The monsters vaguely resembles Orpheus. Maybe it's some kind of offspring? And what is this monster doing here? What does he eat? Well, we still have a description of the games, and their only difference is that the description of the 5th chapter is longer than the description of the first one by 1 paragraph. And this very paragraph in the 5th chapter says that we will explore the object together with our flying companion. And this is good when we have a friend to share with. He will keep us company when we feel alone and scared. And we will feel this very often. Don't you think that this paragraph is a bit clarifying and separates our roles? Such an approach to call a drone toy a companion of the 5th chapter still hints at the child as well. If you do not look at the height of the main character, we could easily get the remote control from the drone from the child. The original inscription of the Banban, in theory, should remain in the sawdust drawing on the board too. Then things are like this? We are a child and came for the day, bring a friend. Today is the day when the kindergarten administration will show the children their finished cases. According to one information, these are papers and videos from the cassette. And according to the 1st chapter, we found only traces of the presence of sawdust at the bottom, bring a friend. Before the incident, during and after, she remained and we ran away from her. If Fiddles flew into the hole with the children, then it is clear why we never got him. In general, whether it is or not is not a reason to hide the game a little. The 5th chapter is definitely unusual and such strange pictures, and by the lack of an announcement of chapter 5, the brothers wanted to emphasize its mystery. Chapter 5 will definitely add detail to the plot and possibly creepiness. With the last chapters, the garden became not too scary. Monsters increasingly contacted us and went towards us. It may well be what release is. Should slightly put in place the perception of the game as a whole. Roll back to about there when we first visited the kindergarten after the incident, and even though we hid the chapter, we found it and are no longer so negative about repeated screenshots as if you switch to it. Agree through the 4th chapter. That's why they hid it. Thank you for watching my video. Give it a like if you liked it, to promote the recommendations. I would be grateful for a subscription with a bell and a comment under the video. Good luck to you, dear viewers.